All right, week 6 of another podcast. We got me and Donnie again. Josiah was supposed to be here, but it's his birthday, and he canceled.
He canceled 5 minutes
5 minutes
before we were supposed to shoot. So what do you think about, this has nothing to do with Josiah, but just in general, people who cancel on you 5 minutes?
I hate it! Actually, it depends on the situation. If it's like a dinner that I feel like I have to go to, but I don't really want to go to, and I'm on my way and they cancel, on the phone I'll be like, oh man, okay, cool, but inside I'm going, yes!
Right, so
I get to go home and do nothing.
I do love canceled plans. The older I get, the more I love it when the thing that I thought I was going to have to do, I don't have to do. It doesn't even matter if I like the thing.
Yeah, canceled plans are actually kind of fun.
It's amazing.
Because then you get to just stay home and do nothing.
Most of the time it ends in me being like, oh, I can finally get my laundry out of the dryer, you know, or like.
And then you go take it out and it's all moldy. So you go, well, I guess I got to redo this again.
Oh yeah, that happens to me all the time. Yeah. So, what kind of situation would you have to be in for someone to cancel on you, and then you cut them out of your life entirely?
What kind of situation?
Yeah. Like if they were gonna do this 5-minute cancel business to you.
Like if they were supposed to be the minister at my grandpa's funeral or something.
Last minute, yay.
I know I was supposed to, host your grandpa's funeral, but I'm just not going to make it.
It's me, your host of your grandpa's funeral.
Probably would cut that guy out.
Bro, I got some bad news.
Or maybe the best man at my wedding. He's like, hey, can't be your best man today.
Can I be your usher or second best guy? I'm going to be sliding in a little late.
One of those situations, probably.
Yeah.
That's where the cutoff comes in. But if it's dinner, it's fine. It's a podcast.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
For
Josiah.
now.
It's fine, Josiah.
It's fine while we have, 50 views a week.
It's going to be okay, Josiah. This one time.
This second time. Actually,
is this the second time he's done it?
No. The last time it was like a mutual. It just wasn't the timing. It was Halloween. It just didn't work out.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. But yeah. So now it's just me and you again.
Well, hopefully nobody thinks it sucks.
I don't think so. We got 100% likes, but the likes were only like 3. So.
So no down votes?
No down votes.
I'm going to go down vote.
100% success rate so far. People only love it.
Okay, so we had some stuff we were going to talk about that actually I really wanted to talk to Josiah about. Didn't really care about what you had to say, but
We figured.
I'm gonna ask those things of you now. I think
okay.
We got nothing else to do. So let's see here, Jared.
Yeah. What you got
this week? What is your most hilarious childhood memory?
This is what I told you to bring.
Yeah, I know, but now you got to answer.
One of my most hilarious childhood memories probably had a lot to do with Josiah.
Who isn't here.
There's this one time we were in the back playing with BB guns, and we set up like guys on the fence just to like shoot. Mm-hmm. And I was done shooting. We ran out, and all the guys had fallen off the fence, and I gave the gun to Josiah. I said, all right, don't shoot. I'm going to go reset up the guys. Okay. So I give him the gun. He's like 7 years old. It's a little BB gun. I go up to the fence. I start lifting the guys, and all of a sudden, I turn around, and there's this little evil smile on Josiah's face.
Shot you with
He shot me with the BB gun after I said, hey, bud, don't shoot me with the BB gun. Refrain from your bullets hitting me. And he was like, all right, deal. I'll shoot you with the BB gun. Now, it
matters what kind of BB gun was this? Was this the Red Ryder?
It was like...
it a buck?
I don't know. I can't remember at this point, but it was like a kid's BB gun.
Okay.
If there
but
were
did it
those.
have metal BBs?
Yeah, it was a metal BB. Yeah, I got hit by a metal BB.
But it didn't penetrate.
It didn't. No.
It just hurt really bad.
Left a little indentation, and my skin was, welted. But that was one of them. There's
my brothers used to have BB gun fights.
Really? I remember us doing airsoft gunfights, but they would do
No, like full-on BB gun fights.
BB gun fights.
Yeah, but they had pump BB guns, so they would just only do, like the rule was like a certain number of pumps.
Because the more you pump it, the more
the harder it would
shoot. Yeah, the stronger it is.
And then I can't remember which one of these cousins was involved with this BB gun fight they were having, but one of them was like when nobody was looking, and then shot. I think Shay. I think they shot my brother Shay, and it was like full on in his arm, so he had to dig it out with a spoon. He took his spoon and like pushed the BB back out. That's like, because they weren't gonna tell mom.
Right.
Like, I'm not gonna tell them. My parents know that
we'll all get in trouble.
Full on shot each other with like guns. You know, they wanted to continue the debaucherous BB gun fight for some reason.
There's another one when we were kids. We were growing up, and one of my little cousins, we were all racing, and they just kept losing the race we were doing. Always getting last, just losing over and over again. And so she wanted to race again, but she wanted to put some new rules on the race. She said, "Okay, here's the plan for the new race. I'm going to start in front of you. Mm-hmm. You guys are going to start behind me. I'm going to say go. We're all going to go, but no passing."
What?
So she wins.
Wait, who is this?
This is Amanda.
Oh, wait. Amanda who?
Josiah's sister.
Oh, Josiah's. Okay. I was like, that is so funny. No passing.
No passing. It was a race where we weren't allowed to race.
Pass each other. So it's basically like people in a line.
People in a line.
People in a line.
Basically just
behind a really slow person.
Yeah. When I was a kid, my sis Kristen, she had this Barbie electric car. You remember those electric cars?
Oh yeah, I remember being like, only rich kids have those.
Yeah. Well, my sister had one, and I was like 5 years older than her, and I loved driving it.
Sure.
So I'd be like, "Kristen, you want to ride in your Barbie truck, and I'll drive?"
Yeah.
And so we'd go out in the front and drive on the sidewalk. But I felt kind of embarrassed because it's a Barbie truck.
Yeah,
so I'd be like having a great time driving it. But anytime there was a car that was coming to pass, I'd just like pretend I was having the worst time. I was like, I gotta drive my sister's Barbie car. And the car would drive.
I'm not like this was not my choice. I
did not suggest to do this.
I don't do this when she's not here.
Just being a good brother.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Oh man, that's so funny. So like, just the amount of like shame that you can feel as a young person, not realizing that no one cares about anything.
Yeah.
But back then,
they probably didn't think
you would
anything.
feel terrible about stuff for no reason.
Yeah, all those cars that were past me probably didn't even notice me sometimes. But I just, had to make sure that they saw the pain that was on my face.
I definitely
even though there was a lot of joy
doing this thing I
going
definitely
on inside.
chose to do.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Well, I wrote down my
let's hear
most
it.
hilarious childhood memory. You will remember this very well.
Okay.
So I think I would have had to have been 12 or 13 or not quite a teenager, but started growing hair.
Okay.
In places that weren't my head. All right. So I was freaked out by all this. And at first it was like armpits. So like and I would take my dad's shaving razor and be like, not gonna have these. All right. So the first thing that's hilarious, is that my dad definitely probably shaved his face a bunch with like me shaving all sorts of things that like. That's just funny as it is.
It is.
But then one day I was like, man, I was on a hair getting rid of spree. I didn't want any of it, right?
Yeah.
Felt very strange, and it just kept going, and I finally got one of my eyebrows. Okay. It's like I shaved off one entire eyebrow, and then I was looking in the mirror, and I was like, wow, that looks terrible.
Well,
what am I going to do? So I thought, I got to even it up. So then I shaved off the other one. And so then I was like, wow, I look like I have cancer or I'm an alien, one of the two. But both of these things are not going to work. So at the time, the thing that was really popular were these fishing floppy hats that I've seen a little bit of now. They kind of came back around. So the floppy hat came down and I pulled it way down to this part of my head. And I was wearing it around for like days. Like just always had the hat like super far down. Like no one can see my eyebrows. And then one of the days was time to go to church. And it was on the weekday church. And you were there. And so I had just like wearing my hat super duper low. And we were at kids' church. And I finally had my way out. I was going to come clean, but I was going to lie about how it happened. And I decided that I was going to tell Mom that it was one of those hello, my name is name tags.
Oh, name tags.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like I told on the way back, I was like, Mom, I ripped out my eyebrows with the hello, my name tag sticker.
She was like, well, where's the blood?
Yeah.
That must have been so painful.
So like that was the story, and to this day I think my mom believed me.
Really?
Yeah, because then
you.
she called your mom and told your mom. Okay, well actually this is exactly what happened. I was like, Mom, I ripped out my eyebrows
with the name tag.
And she's like, how did it happen? And then I was like, the hello, my name is tag, right? And she's like, wow. Oh my God, are you both of them? And I was like, well, then I had to go and do the second one. So it's
to even it out.
Yeah, and I just was completely lying about it because it's an insane thing to do either way. I should have just said I shaved it with Dad's razor, but either way, for the next it was for weeks. It took weeks for my eyebrows to grow back. Mom would draw them on with
I was about to ask. I
draw
thought I
on
remembered
my
this.
eyebrows with
with
eyeliner. Like so, every day my eyebrows were a little different. Like this one was bigger. This one's like whatever. But that was terrible. It was awful. And then the one thing I asked Mom to do is do not tell anyone
that I
did this. You just have to hide it with me. You just have to. This has to be our secret. And it was not a damn 5 minutes had gone by, and the door was shut of my mom's room, and I heard her cackling. Connie, Connie, it was your mom. Connie, you would not believe what Donovan just did. And I am seriously, I'm not over it that she told your mom. Because I was like, at that point, I knew I can never trust my mother.
Oh, no.
With anything.
Oh, no.
I can never tell her anything. So now she doesn't get she doesn't hear about stuff I don't want to. I know that's going to go everywhere.
We can't tell anyone, Mom. Gotcha.
That's exactly what happened.
Guess what my son
you're
did.
not going to believe. And so, your mom was like, to me,
that doesn't sound like Mom. She'd come up to you and go, hey,
no.
Where's your eyebrows,
she
Johnny?
was looking. I knew it.
Is it a little cold in this area?
your eye, above your eyes cold.
Mine are perfectly warm.
Yeah, well, it sucked. It was the worst thing that had happened to me at that point in my life.
Well, that's pretty good.
And it was hilarious. And if I had a little kid who was like, Dad, you can't tell anyone I shaved off my eyebrows, I was like, Jared,
that's what my
you were never
son
going to
did.
believe this.
And then your son's going to be in the other room going, I'm never telling Dad anything ever again.
Little Donald shaved off his eyebrows. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So anyways, that was traumatic.
That was the worst thing that ever happened to me, maybe.
The worst thing. Oh, man. It's pretty funny. And I remembered your mom drawing your eyebrows in part because I kept trying to chime in saying, didn't your mom do that? Turns out she did.
My mom drew on my eyebrows. Mom, draw my eyebrows.
Mom, gotta go to school. You draw my eyebrows back on, please.
Yes.
It's hockey practice.
It's hockey
Draw
practice.
my eyebrows back on, please.
Yeah, so that was probably the funniest thing I did as a kid. Trying to think. There are stories that I want to tell people that you should never tell people.
Yeah?
And I don't know if you were there for this. I hope that this cancels me forever when anyone hears this story.
Okay. Excited.
But boys can just be Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is not to people. Like when I was a little kid, and I think you were there for this, and I had never experienced the death of anything. I had no idea things could die.
Yep.
I had just existed as a little person. And I think I was 5 or 6. My parents had moved into this house that had a pond in the back, and there was a tree frog on the garage door. And it was me and a bunch of friends, and I can't remember which little dudes it was, but we found this little frog.
What'd you do to this little frog, Donnie?
I threw that at a garage door.
Donnie, that was us.
That was us.
And it was more than one frog. It was several.
No, it wasn't. There was only one frog. But we threw the frog at the garage door, and then he stopped moving.
Yeah, and we both felt terrible.
Yeah.
This happened.
We killed.
We
killed
We were like 7 years old,
a little.
curious.
Can you imagine being the frog?
Oh, wow,
First
sweet,
he was
I
like,
get to go.
I am like having a great time on this garage door, and then he's like, whoa!
This is fuck.
Wham!
Wham. Yeah, I still feel bad about that. It's not hard to.
But they say like that's like the thing that makes you a psychopath. Like, you know,
Right, but
are they
no,
cruel to
it's-
animals?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, but it's a different scenario. We weren't like killing animals. It was just the frog. That one frog, that one time. And we both felt very bad. And that's what happened. That's what happened.
Do you remember? I think someone else was there too. There was this kid
I think it was
next
me,
door.
you, and Will.
No.
Didn't Will live in that little cul-de-sac?
No, that was later. That was way later. We didn't know Will yet. I think it was the kid next door, Eric.
Ah,
Do you remember Eric?
kind of. Not
Well,
really.
Eric, he was a terrible human.
So he was like, this is great, let's keep doing it.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I feel like I was the one who was like, let us kill the frog. Like, boom. But no, Eric, this is later. In the same era, though, I was very young. I had caught a caterpillar.
Yeah.
And I put the caterpillar, do you remember the cassette tapes
Yep.
from Church on the Move? And how they had little boxes?
Yep.
Like you could like open the box, and I thought this is the perfect place to have a pet caterpillar. I was like, this caterpillar is going to turn into a butterfly. This is going to be the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yep.
So I caught the caterpillar, and I put grass and water, and I was like, you're going to be my best friend, right?
I'm going to take such good care of you.
Anyways, Eric just stole him.
What?
Just took him. Just kaboom.
He's like, oh, is that a caterpillar?
Yeah.
No, it's my caterpillar.
Yeah, and he stole it, took it to his house inside. And you know when somebody goes in their house,
Yep.
that's it.
Yep.
You can't like go in their house. You have to be like, Eric's mom can...
Can I have my caterpillar back, please?
Yeah. So anyways,
Soon to be a butterfly?
So I went to his house, knocked on the door. His mom opened up, and she's like, hello? And I'm like, Eric took my caterpillar. And she's like, okay, hang on. Shuts the door. Goes and talks to Eric. Eric's like, nah, I didn't take his cat. That's my caterpillar. So then she comes out and she goes, he says it's his, so have fun. Shut the door in my face.
Goodness.
And so I go home weeping. Mom, he took my caterpillar. The injustice, that was the end of my friendship with Eric.
Well, good.
Like, I never talked to
He
him.
sounded like a jerk.
The next time I saw him, he was making fun of me at school, like 5 years later.
Really?
He was like, that
That guy right there collects
guy.
caterpillars.
Yeah. And so I know if I ever met him again.
You'd hope he had a pet caterpillar that you could
No,
take.
he probably killed that caterpillar. What I think is that Eric had it pretty rough.
Probably.
He had it pretty rough over at his house. So I'd probably be like, man, are you okay? If I ever met him
And then
again.
he'd probably make fun of you for asking that question.
Yeah, he'd be like, you're...
Sissy girl, asking if I'm okay.
Yeah, what are you, sensitive or something?
What, are you sensitive? I don't get
Yeah.
sensitive. I'm a man.
Oh, man, yeah.
That reminds me that when I was a kid, I would trap flies.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Trap them in what?
in like a little plastic container.
Okay.
I would see a fly in our house. I would trap it and then poke holes in the top
Yeah.
and put bread in it and call it my pet fly. And I put it on the window.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, your name is Tommy. Tommy, my pet fly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'd make sure he's fed and I'd check on him. I'd click on the thing. And then I'd go to sleep. And the next day he'd be dead. Be like, what did I do wrong? Maybe I didn't give him enough bread.
Yeah.
And so I would catch another fly, get him up there, put more bread in there, put him on the window. He'd be dead again the next morning. Little did I know that flies just don't live very long. I thought I was just the worst pet, the worst fly owner in the history of fly owners. Maybe I was the only one, but I thought I was doing things wrong.
Yeah, you didn't have a dog until...
No, I had a dog.
You did until later, way later.
No. I had a dog when I was like 5, but he was a little much, so we got him a new home. I had a cat too, that we didn't have very long.
Yeah.
Because it kept tearing up all our furniture.
Yeah.
And my parents were like, all right, new home.
Oh, wow.
So-
Okay, so I guess you had some experiences, but then there's the little Yorkie. What was his
Hershey.
name? Hershey, yes. Okay, I loved Hershey.
We had
loved
him for a very long time.
Everybody loved Hershey.
Yeah.
But before Hershey,
Just two.
we didn't really have a lot of pets.
No.
Between us, because they didn't stay around at your house long, and
No.
I never had one. Do you remember the crawdad that I caught and tried to take care of?
Sounds familiar.
So I caught a crawdad out of the creek, and I stuck him in a bowl, a big bowl. Stuck him in a big bowl, and I gave him grits.
Oh, grits.
I was like, he'll eat corn grits. It'll be great, right?
Yeah.
And so I left him, and a bird swooped down and was like,
You got your crawdad? Did you leave the bowl outside?
yeah, I left it outside. And I was like, man, I bet I,
The bird was like, ooh, buffet.
But yeah. He was just being
Grits
a
and
crawdad.
crawdads. Just sitting here waiting for me.
I'm sure. And so like the animals that have like served up to their deaths makes me really sad, actually.
Yeah. It wasn't intentional. It was never intentional. That's how you know you were one of those crazy kids. The crazy kids do it intentionally.
Yeah.
It was never intentional.
Yeah.
It's curiosity.
Absolutely not. No.
Especially with that frog. Whoops.
Yeah. Did you ever go hunting though? Did you ever
I've never been hunting.
Never
Nope.
been hunting, yeah. That can be traumatic your first time. Yeah. My dad, so I went bird hunting. This is around the time, maybe a year or so after I'd shaved off my eyebrows.
So you're still a little
give
kid.
it some context.
Yep.
I was probably 13 at the time. Old enough to be like, Dad was like, we're going to show you how guns work,
Yeah.
So we went on a dove hunt around here. I don't know where you're watching this from, but around here, dove is in season in the fall, and they're delicious. And also, they don't look like they deserve death. So these two doves fly up. Me and my dad perfectly, son.
Yes, Dad.
Boom, boom. Me and Dad, both of us, and the two doves are like, right.
So you both got one?
Yeah, we both got one. The very first two that showed up, right? We both shot the doves. Like the most perfect thing that could happen, except for mine was like, not dead. You're just very badly injured.
Oh, no.
So Dad's like got his.
Are you having fun?
Yeah, like you stick them in your pocket so you can go dress them out and eat them. But he grabs this one and he's like, son, you have to finish the job. And I'm holding a bird and it's like,
bad movie
"Woo,
scene."
woo, woo, woo," right? Don't finish the making dove sounds. Woo, 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 coo, coo. He just saw me holding the bird, and it felt like an eternity. I was like looking into his eyes. Where's my wife?
Is she okay?
We just killed her.
Oh, no.
Anyways, my dad is like, give me that. He takes the bird. He grabs it by the head. And he goes, just takes his head off.
Oh, my goodness.
That's what you do with birds.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
know.
let them suffer.
Yeah.
Okay? If you've ever eaten chicken,
That's what happens.
you're part of the chicken accost that happens every day.
It reminds me of some movie where there's a childhood movie we would watch where there was a dead dove. What was that movie? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
Like-
no,
it's
you're
like
talking
Pet
about
Man.
Dumb and Dumber, man.
Oh, it was Dumb and Dumber.
The
That's what
blind
it
kid
was.
and his parakeet.
Yes. Oh, that's right.
They taped his head
Oh
back on.
no, that's what that story reminds me of. Is Dumb and Dumber.
It was essentially that, yeah. So, anyways, that was all around that time.
It was such a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
So,
Dad!
and then it turned into such a traumatic experience.
Yeah.
All in the same. All in the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
Same.
Give me
couple
that.
minutes. Oh, do it, you sissy.
Yeah, it does. That's basically how it felt. I was like, oh my god, oh my god, this is how food is made.
Oh man, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, but I think I think kids these days they need that.
Yeah, probably.
Kids really need to. They need to see some death,
See
real
some-
death. It makes you respect things.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, like when I go to Chick-fil-A, thank you, chicken.
Thank you, chicken. I know what happened to get you into this delicious sandwich. Thank you so much for your sacrifice.
Actually, I think my position on hunting now is I would do it if I had time, and if it wasn't, I
Yeah.
couldn't just go buy chicken. But I think that it's actually better. Like that dove lived a perfectly great life until one terrible afternoon. My wife.
Hey, honey, you ready to go on our date? Yes,
Yes,
I am.
Yeah. Up until that moment,
Until that moment.
their lives were great. They were free. But chicken just is born into captivity. Like, well, I guess I'm just going to be in this concentration camp until I'm dead. And that's exactly right.
Yep.
You just stay in a box. I'm glad chickens are stupid, though. I really hope they're dumb. I really hope they don't know.
They must be, because sometimes they can live without their head.
You know, it'd be crazy if we see the aliens, and the spaceship comes down and it opens up. The aliens come out and they're like, "We're
here to save our family."
they see what we do to them on a daily basis. They're just bird people. Hey, the heck's happening around here? Oh, did you know that those can be silenced?
Yes. I should have had it silenced. But this is a great segue. We're last week we did a dad joke segment.
Oh yeah.
Wanted to do it again.
Okay,
Felt like it went pretty well.
I can Google like anybody else.
Would you like to go first?
I'll go first.
Or would you like... Okay, sounds good.
Let's see here. What do rabbits need after getting caught in the rain?
What?
A hair dryer.
All right, I like it. All right. I got fired from the bank today. Lady asked me to check her balance, so I pushed her.
I wish I could have done that to all my customers. I spent 8 years in a banking career, and
Thought you
tripping
might-
customers would have been the best thing.
Sir, can I check my balance? Why?
Oh
yes,
yeah,
you
come right
can.
over here, sir.
It's bad. Balance is bad.
How awesome would it be if another employee was like, "No, push him over."
Yes,
Did
got
the
behind
chair
him.
thing?
Yeah.
Did we ever actually do that? I feel like we would have tried to do that, but we would have never been mean enough to actually pull it off.
I think
Where some kid gets behind the other kid and then
we did try,
push him over.
but it failed. I think the person just ended up sitting on the person that was.
Yeah, that's kind of what that kind of make a chair
I think
situation.
we tried it on Justin, and he just sat on me. So didn't work out. very
Bummer.
well.
We wanted him to break an arm.
All right, what's your next one?
Dad, did you get a haircut? No, I got them all cut.
What?
That's what it says. Dad, did you get a haircut?
Oh,
No, I got them all cut.
That's definitely a dad joke.
Yeah.
It's like so bad, it's kind of good.
Oh man. What kind of shoes does a lazy person wear?
What?
Loafers.
All right, I got one for you.
Okay.
My wife yelled at me yesterday.
Okay.
Something like, "You haven't heard a single word I've said, have you?" And I thought, that's a strange way to start a conversation.
It just sounds like tomorrow for you.
Yeah, I can actually relate to a lot to that one. Not intentionally.
That is a
just
really weird way for you to start talking to me. I don't understand. This feels like a joke you would have written in our childhood. What do you call a boomerang that doesn't come back?
What?
A stick.
That's pretty good. I like that one. I heard someone say this one. I didn't like it very much, but I thought I'd say it to you because you'll probably like it more than me. You ready?
Okay.
How do you make God cry?
I'm sure I've made him cry many times.
All right. How do you make God cry?
I don't know.
Be a ginger.
Oh. Yeah.
Why? Is it because we have no souls? Is that why?
God's
that why
like,
he
yeah,
cries?"
dude. Yeah, not me, him.
As he's like, shaping us all into who we are as gingers, did he like go, oh God, whatever. That's what you look like now. With all your freckles.
I
and your
think
red
it's a curse for really, what is it? It's the recessive trait of redheaded people, isn't it? Like blondes and brunettes together make redheaded kids?
Well, that's what happened with my parents.
And I think it's kind of God punishing people for beautiful people being.
So like, you guys are too cute. Here's
a redhead.
a really awesome kid called a ginger.
Listen, man, your red hair, I think it made you who you are in a lot of ways.
Sure, I'm sure.
Would you say that's true?
Sure. Dealt with a lot of insecurity as a kid because I was pale.
Did you really?
Not a lot.
I don't think so. I don't think it bothered you that much.
But some.
Yeah.
Like if you go to
I don't
a
think
pool,
it stopped you even a little bit.
Maybe not. Maybe a little bit though. Well, I mean, at least I had this thought. We would go to the pool, and I'm this pale, polka dotted kid, and everybody else is tan and can get tans. All I get is red.
So you
And I burn.
You.
That's why my favorite weather is cold weather, because when it's cold I can put a lot of clothes on and I don't have to worry about the sun. But if it's super hot, all you can do is wear less clothes, which then makes it to where I burn because I'm a ginger.
Dude, okay. This reminds me of the funniest thing about you
Yeah?
in middle school.
What's that?
In middle school, or it was, whatever, 8th grade, like freshman in high school situation. One time you came to school, actually multiple times you came to school. This happened more than once.
Okay.
So the first time you figure you'd have learned your lesson. You definitely didn't do that. You came to school and your hands were bright orange on the inside, on the palms.
Yeah.
Yes. And everyone was making fun of you. Jared, why are your palms...
Well, the first time was a legit reason.
Yeah.
My mom paid me like $50.
Yeah, your
to go get
hustle was testing suntan...
My mom paid me $50.
Fake tanning products on your palms.
No. It wasn't that. It was Mom brought me to a spray tan place. And she goes, Jared, I'll pay you $50 to go in there and get a spray tan. I was like, okay, sure. I like money. And so I went and I did it. And the whole reason why she had me do that is because she wanted to see what it looked like before she did it. And so I didn't really care.
But dude, you got it on your palms, man. Like it was like your full hands. You're right, because your rest of your body was still...
And then the second time I did it, I just wanted to know what it felt like to be tan,
But then you used your hands to put it on. You didn't even use the gloves, man.
Every time that I did it was spray tan. I never rubbed it all over myself. It was me going to some salon and you sit in these little booths and then you wear goggles and
Did you hold your hands out like this?
Maybe I did. Maybe I did it backwards. I don't know. You stand like this and then they spray you with some stuff that smells bad.
Either way, it was hilarious when...
Yeah, I did that.
I remember all the girls being like...
I wanted to know what it felt like to be tan.
And you did it.
I did it. And it was pretty great. Being tan is great. I wish I could, but I can't.
Bro, but the whole time you were tan, your hands were like dark.
Yeah, and it felt great. I was like, this is...
No, your palms are never supposed to be...
I didn't care. I was tan. I think I did it 3 times. And the third time I tried to convince people that it was natural. Obviously it wasn't natural. I
have been sticking my hand in the toaster oven for weeks.
Yeah, actually, I had this one, somebody in our high school came up to me on my 3rd spray tan adventure. And she goes, is that real? I go, yeah, I got a tan sitting out in the sun. And the first thing she did was put her finger on my skin to see if it would go white and then turn tan again. She was like, and I knew what she was doing. I was like, oh God.
Oh no.
She's figuring it out. Because it didn't do that. It just stayed brown.
She figured it out.
She knows I'm a liar.
Who was it?
This is Melissa. She did it.
Oh,
She figured it out.
Melissa was so cool. I
was
bet
cool.
she might actually see this. It's been a long time since we've seen her.
Maybe. Anyways, there was no fooling her.
She knew the test.
She was like, "Oh, really? Poke."
Man. Oh, dude. Okay, so driving over here, I was getting ready to get on. I got off on 91st instead of going on the creek.
Yep.
And it reminded me about you getting tickets on the creek.
Yeah, I did that a few
They had
times.
just built that highway. And I remember you in the Ford Taurus
Yeah.
and not pulling over when the cop was behind you.
Yeah.
And just, you kept driving and driving and driving.
Yeah, I drove for a little bit.
I always laugh when I get off on that exit now.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that's where Jared finally stopped.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, he was following me for a bit. It was my first time getting pulled over. I didn't really know what to do. I mean, I kind of knew what to do. So I was kind of waiting for like a safe area where there was lights. Mm-hmm. And when I pulled over, I pulled on the left side of the road instead of the right. And so I pulled over on the left side. He came up to the window. He said, "Get on the right side of the road." Is that not where I'm at? I thought this is the right spot. Am I doing it wrong, officer? Get on that side of the road. Okay, sorry.
Dude, they're so mean, bro.
so-
Cops are so mean.
I got on the other side, and he wrote me 2 tickets, one for speeding and one for failing to yield because I pulled over on the wrong side of the road. He was a real jerk.
My first ticket, I got hammered pretty bad too. It was a lady cop.
Really?
It's still like it just reminded me like I have the exact opposite experience of I guess society at large, because to me, my mom was kind of a matriarch of our family, and then Mrs. Strelo ruled my life, and every teacher I had, except for 2, were women, and most of the administration of every school I was in were women. So to me, women were the boss of everything all the time, and the very first ticket I got was like a lady cop. And she like walks up to my car. She's like,
She's the boss of the
"Hey,
law."
do you know how fast you were going?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know, ma'am." Like she's like, "You're going blah 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 and whatever." And I was like, "Well, I'm sorry." And she's like, "Well, you're getting a huge ticket."
No, please.
I have never gotten off like of a ticket.
Oh, really? Never?
Ever. No, ever. Whatever cops must just. I have a cop hating face.
Yeah, you kind of do.
Yeah.
Kind of got a cop hating face.
Well,
Go ahead.
one time I did get pulled over by a super awesome cop though.
And he still wrote you a ticket?
Yeah, he just pulled me over because it was late at night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How old were you?
No, I was in my 20s.
Oh.
And he was like, "Hey." He was looking in the car. He was like, "What you got in there?" I was like, "Officer, that's a piano. I had a Rhodes piano in my car." And he's like, "Well, you seem like you might have been driving a little erratic." And I was like, "No, I'm just going home." And he's like, "What were you doing?" And I was like, "I was playing a gig. I'm a musician." "Oh, that's really cool." He's like, "Well, have a good night." I still don't know why he pulled me over. But I was like,
Well, maybe you were swerving a little bit. And
I
thought you
don't
were...
think I was swerving a little bit. Bro, I remember the night really well. I didn't have like an iPhone at the time. It wasn't iPhone days.
I see.
It was regular
He was
phone
trying to
days.
get you, and he had nothing to get.
Yeah,
So
he thought like maybe I had.
he's like, "Gotcha! What have you been doing?"
What'd you do? You know what you did.
"Just innocent stuff." All right. You can go.
I've been doing innocent things.
Checks out.
That's good story, bro.
You can leave.
That checks out. I wanted you to see this meme because of my stick joke.
Okay, let me see it. Then I'll just put it on the screen.
Yeah.
Finding a stick like this. Bro, literally got the best one. I'm not kidding. This is the best stick I've ever seen in my life.
Bro, if you were holding that
Seriously,
stick,
it's like a lightsaber.
if you were holding that stick right now, you'd be smacking the shit out of me with it.
Yeah.
If I wasn't looking, you'd be
Yeah,
like,
I would.
"Ah, boom!"
I'd be
You'd hit me
storing
in
it
the
at my
back of the
house,
legs.
too, for forever.
Oh, I know. This is the best stick I've ever seen.
You gotta text that to me so I have
Yeah, I'm gonna send this
so
to you.
I can put it in the podcast.
Any guy, and I don't think girls will get this, but any guy, if you picked that stick up in the woods, you would be like running around like a knight.
Yeah.
You'd be like
You would.
hitting trees with it. You'd be running around.
You could probably sell it on
You'd be
eBay
fighting
for like $1,000.
fake orcs and like lightsabering. You'd be making lightsaber sounds. And you know what? If I saw you in the woods playing with that stick, I wouldn't be like, look at that nerd playing with a stick. I'd be like, that's an awesome stick.
I want to be doing that with that stick.
That is the best stick. Bro, give me that stick.
Can I borrow your stick, bro?
Yeah, can I borrow that stick when you're done?
Can we share the stick?
Give me share. You'd be looking around for another stick. Wow, he found a stick like that. I bet there's another one. All dudes would do that. There's not a single dude who wouldn't do that. And if he did, if there was a guy who didn't like the stick, you'd be like, I can't be friends with him.
No.
Yeah, I think he's something
This
not
isn't
right
gonna
with
work
this
out
guy.
on a friendship level.
Yeah, in fact, I don't
like
even
the stick.
think, I don't know what that guy's got going on.
Doesn't like this stick.
This is the
he
best
crazy?
stick I've ever seen. I just know that if I had that stick and we were kids, I would have smacked the shit out of you with it. And you'd been like, cry. Ah! It would have been so mean, but I would have been like, I found the stick. If you had it, you would have hit me with it.
I don't know if I would have hit you with it. That wasn't the kind of kid I was. I was the kind of kid that would take your Lego set and just throw it and it'd blow up.
I wonder why I would have hit you with the stick then.
Daddy, how long do you work on this? All day. Ha! Looks really cool when it crashes.
Yeah, what is it? What do you think it was? What is in your head? Because so to give you some context, I loved Legos. I would work an incredibly long amount of time to find not only the right pieces but the right colored pieces, and then you would obliterate whatever it was I was working on at the time.
It was just that it
Why?
looked really cool when it blew up.
Is that really the whole thing?
That's it. It was cool to, like, especially with the plane, to be like, I'm hit.
Yeah, no. Explode.
That was it.
I do know that if you take Legos and if you break them apart a lot, then they no longer stick together as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I would break mine all the time, and they stuck together pretty well. And I still have them all, too. Do you
Depends
have yours?
on the piece, because you can wear them out. Do I still
you
have
can.
them? I gave all of my Legos to my nephews, whom didn't deserve them.
Well,
And I say that with love. With love, like I know for sure. But this is exactly what happened to me. I was given a pile of Legos that I didn't have the instructions for, so I had a bunch of pieces that I had no connection to. I thought, like, I don't care what happens to these. I don't care if I lose them. I have thousands of other ones just like it.
Yep.
But I gave my Star Wars Legos that had came out when we were, like, there was no Star Wars Legos for a great part of our childhood, and then right towards the end of the time that we'd even play with Legos, we were getting too old for it probably, Star Wars Legos had came out specifically.
Yep.
And so every piece mattered. I remember buying Legos and then calling Lego customer service because I lost a piece and
And
being
they would
like,
send you new
this
ones?
didn't come with this piece, and lying to the Lego lady. And she's like, are you sure?
Are you sure?
You sure it didn't have that in there?
Positive.
Well, what, and then I'd have to give her the serial number
And they
of
would
the
send it to you?
Lego, yeah, because they had a way to track whether or not that run of Legos was missing pieces or not.
Huh.
And so they would report, hey, this batch didn't get that little piece, so we need to fix that. And I just lied every single time.
Would you get free pieces every time?
Oh yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah. That was the beginning of of my evil.
The beginning of
yeah. I was willing to lie. I was willing to lie to the Lego people to get.
I think every kid at that age is willing to lie about some stuff.
I don't know, but do you remember like the first you were like, I am gonna do bad.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember the first thing I did,
Yeah.
but I remember feeling that and being like, I'm going to do bad.
Yeah. Do you?
And then going to do it
Yeah. So
several times.
that combined with like our childhood growing up in church, some guy in church was always like, you know, you did a bad.
Oh my God.
And
Yeah,
Jesus
that reminds
does
me.
not like.
That
Jesus has
reminds.
to.
What was our youth pastor's name?
Jeff.
Jeff. I thought he was the coolest dude.
He was.
Like almost like a buddy of ours.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one time you brought a screw and you
the
pointed
story.
at it,
Yeah.
and then you pointed at me.
Yeah, that was
And I was
funny
like,
to me.
oh, screw you.
Yeah,
That's so funny. I'm going to take that screw and I'm going to go do it to Jeff, our
Right,
youth
'cause Jeff
pastor.
was chill.
Because he was chill.
He was cool.
And so I went up to him and I was like, screw you. Just like playfully, not like,
Yeah.
screw you.
yeah.
I was like playful. Ha ha, screw you. And he was like, oh, God. Now I gotta
Jared,
go
I can't believe you.
Oh, I can't believe you, Jared. Now I gotta go tell your mom. And I thought he was joking. You're gonna tell my mom? Well, screw you again.
Screw you again.
He shook his head and went and told my mom. And I was in so much shock because I thought he was just one of the
He
bros.
did betray us.
I thought he was one
betrayed
of the
us on that.
bros. And then mom comes up to me later and goes, Did you point at a screw and then point at Jeff? I go, yeah, I did that.
I did. You know what? I'd do it again now because he told you. He's a narc.
Yeah, he's a snitch. I do it again. See if I
Jeff
ever tell
Daigle.
Jeff screw you again.
Jeff Daigle. Yes, we're calling you out, bro. You were a total snitch. Not cool, Jeff.
Total snitch. Anyway, she said this. Did you point at a screw and then point at Jeff? I go, yeah, I did that. She goes, okay. And that was it.
Okay.
Okay. No
That reminds
punishment,
me-
no nothing. It was
Our school superintendent, Ms. Strelo, called my dad. Did you know your son is dancing on top of his car in the parking lot? Right?
Sounds like my son.
Yeah. My dad's like, oh, wow. Doesn't sound like my kid.
You sure you got the right
I
one?
remember the day
You
too.
sure you
So
got the
we
right
had the
kid?
cars out there. We were bumping our CDs. I think I probably had Franz Ferdinand.
Yep.
Take me out. I was probably doing it weird. Yeah. So dance on top of. Anyways, I get this. My dad and my mom are like, "Sit down, son." I get home. Stop doing stuff that makes Miss Strelo call us. It's not that we care. We can do whatever you want with that thing. You can dance on top of your car wherever you want. Just not in the parking lot at school because we're tired of Miss Strelo calling us, bro.
I was kind of hoping your dad would like mess with her a little bit or be like, oh my God, again?
Oh, no, not again. He's been doing that so much recently.
Doing it in the parking lot as soon as he gets home. We're like, get down, Donnie. It's dangerous up there.
Oh no! Did he fall?
Did he fall? He didn't fall this time? Oh, thank God. Bro.
He's been falling off of the car so
He's
much.
been falling every time. That's probably why he does it so much.
His great granddad's a goat. That's why he always jumps up on top of stuff.
goat.
Is he doing that in class?
Is he standing on the desk too? Doing it?
Oh man, what a problem. You know, it is that age. Though.
Welcome to my life.
It is. He is that age, you know, whenever people start jumping on top of stuff, you know, boys. Bro, I cannot wait to do that stuff to like whatever authority figure my kids have in school.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm definitely looking forward to messing with some of the ones that deserve to mess with, like, Miss
I don't
Straight.
know if we had a pretty unique case. Like that was a really
was. It
weird
was.
person to be like that, enacting that much power
Yeah,
over.
power hungry over
Yeah,
stuff like
teenagers, like they're just gonna do wild stuff.
They're
It's just,
just-
what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with them? You just- oh man.
that. Well, I guess it's better than her like going down there and jumping in with, dancing on the car with you.
Yeah.
Would you prefer if Miss Strela saw that? Oh, that looks so fun, and then got in the car with you, or would you rather her just call your parents?
Bro, I'll tell you that if Miss Strela would have came outside and partied with us, the party would have ended immediately.
Yeah.
Like, if she really wanted it to stop, she would just
That's a great
participate.
way. That's a great
Like,
way to stop
if
it.
I-
I
so-
probably would have been in shock. I mean, just
Yes.
like not been able to say anything or move or
Yeah, or I would have been like,
Is this really happening?
I was only doing this to get with
For some reason, this feels very wrong.
I was wanting to make out with some of these, and you're really crimping.
You're screwing up the vibe.
Yeah, like this is not okay. We're gonna go to a Quick Trip.
Yeah. And retry this stuff.
Oh my gosh, this is like the worst. Yeah. She didn't realize like how to actually deal with that. Instead, it was just like, well, I'm a marked man now, Jared.
Yeah.
I guess I'll spend my days in the prayer room from now on.
Yeah, the prayer room. That's so funny.
By the way, if you are in leadership of young people, don't make prayer a punishment. That is a
Donnie, did you
surefire way to make people hate connecting to any sort of spirituality.
Donnie, did you throw dodgeballs at that kid again? Yes, I did. Go pray.
You're going to have to go get right with Jesus. Oh, no, Jesus saw the whole thing, man.
He was here.
He was in me, in my heart.
In my heart.
He saw the whole thing.
Tell me not to do it in my mind.
Yeah, he was like, don't. Why'd you do that? Stop it.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, bad idea. No.
I did it.
I made him too. Stop being a butt. Okay. So we brought up Jeff Daigle, though. This is an interesting thing. Jeff is the reason why I began being a critical thinker.
Oh, really?
Yes, so we were 13. We were at fill in the blank church. I won't name names.
Yep.
Yeah. And the preacher was willing to look at scripture and just be like, I bet if we don't say anything about anything else around it, I can use that to say whatever I like.
Right.
Right? So he would take the scripture out of context and then just make up silly stories and whatever. And he was very entertaining, so everybody loved going to church. It was fun to hang out with him. But dude was just making stuff up, right? Jeff would sit with me. I don't know if he did this with you, but he would sit with me, and we would open the Bible, and Jeff would go, okay, you see that scripture that he just mentioned? This is where it's found. This is the surrounding text around it. And just using the sentences before and after it, be like, that's not what it means.
Right.
And so I caught onto that early on, and so then I thought, well, heck, if the church I'm going to is willing to lie to me, then all sorts of stuff is crazy. So did you get that kind of experience with Jeff, or?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't that close with me, which is probably why he told my mom.
Yeah.
Snitched on me. Just kidding. But no, he never. I never got that experience with him. But he's still to this day one of my favorite youth pastors.
Oh yeah, he was great.
Yep.
I think he was really good for us, but yeah, that really started my critical thinking, and it ended up and really set me down a path of discovering the truth. I'm interested in truth, and he really showed that to me.
Kind of put you down a path to where it gave you the ability to figure stuff out on your own, rather than just have somebody tell you what to think. You can absorb information, analyze it with your critical thinking, right, and kind of figure it out for yourself.
It's actually the first person in my entire life that had given me that sort of thing. I remember just being spoon-fed opinions and things from everyone else all the time, and also I was in a very rigid environment where there was only one way for things to be. There was only the right way to do it, and so that was the beginning of a lot of things. Now, it took me a long time to start building values of my own and not just obliterating things, because I thought it was the coolest thing ever to be cynical about everything. But do you remember, were you ever in a stage where you were deeply cynical?
Not cynical, but questioning a lot of things. Yeah. And I had to do a lot of figuring out on my own to really nail down what it was that I thought about Christianity, politics, life, all that stuff.
When did that start for you?
Probably right around, I really started thinking about it more around 23, 24. And that's when I really at the beginning of me and Lauren getting married, that's when I really started.
Is that how long ago that was?
Analyzing everything. Yeah, I got married when I was 24, 25. It's been a year. It's been over 10 years since I've been married to Lauren. So I got married when I was 24, 25. But that's when I started, thinking more heavily on just everything. So I could, figure out what it is that I actually thought, rather than just what I was taught when I was a kid, or, told to think, or whatever.
So where have you landed on, let's say God? What did that look like for you?
I believe there's a God. I believe in Jesus. And I never really went down a path where I didn't think that. I just went down a path to make sure that is what I thought. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's the thing that makes the most sense to me.
How long did that like process before you kind of came to it yourself take? Was it a couple of years?
Yeah, like a year or so maybe.
Yeah.
Where I just sat there, there was spent a stretch just thinking about it a lot, and like doing research, and we have like this tool here, all the information we would ever want sitting in our phone. So I spent a lot of time just kind of figuring it out, figuring out what I thought.
It seems to be pretty popular to be like, it's all bullshit, and like it's just lies, and it's used to control people and all that other stuff. Like, what made you stick with it, with Christianity?
The overall theme and moral of it seems like common sense. Like be kind to your neighbor, or treat people how you want to be treated. Love your neighbor, all that stuff. It's like standard stuff that should just be common knowledge on how to be a good person. Love your neighbor, treat people with kindness. It's amazing what a few kind words can do for a person. Like, it can turn a bad day into a good day if you just decide to be kind to somebody.
So you that's why you kept it?
Yeah, because I believed in the moral of it all, and because I thought, everybody has opinions on where we came from or how this all happened. We're all wondering how we got where we are, like on this giant rotating rock in the middle of infinite space. How do we all get here? The thing that makes more sense to me than anything else is we were placed here rather than luck of the draw. You know what I mean?
Aliens.
Aliens. And I do believe in aliens. I do believe it's too big for there not to be something else out there.
In the world that we've lived in, it seems like people are afraid to talk about a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And they're afraid generally of not being like, they're afraid of not conforming. And so much so that I feel like our society in general right now is just listening to the messages of the population.
Yep.
Whatever that populace opinion is supposed to be, and then just towing the line.
Yep.
I feel
I think there's a lot of people that do that don't spend enough time to actually form their own opinions, so they kind of just follow the herd.
Yeah.
And whatever the herd is saying the most, they're like, yeah,
we'll do that.
But then sometimes there's like this black sheep over here who's like, but wait, what about this? And all the other sheep are like, hey, don't ask those questions.
Yeah, don't ask those questions. In
just
fact,
shut
furthermore,
up and follow us.
You asked a question, sir. You, this crazy evil thing way on this other, like obviously evil thing way over here, because you asked a question.
Right.
Like, oh, because you're questioning this now, you should be on.
You should get kicked out of our group for
Yeah.
asking too many questions.
I certainly think that fear is what people are tired of.
Oh, absolutely. And I can see it changing. I like over the last year, I've seen it, like the needle starting to lean in the opposite way because everybody's just sick of it.
Yeah.
And I'm happy. I'm happy that because then we can get back to talking about real things and not worrying about what
just
hurting
realizing
people's
that everybody's
feelings
different and
or
everyone's
asking
opinions.
hard questions and that being okay. That's what, if you have a group of people, that's what you do, and that's why that group of people is your closest group, because you can literally just ask and say whatever to get real opinions and think differently, but not yell at each other because our opinions are different. Like, that's how you form real relationships. That's how you meet real people. And if everybody,
It kind of seems how you find out what the truth is.
yeah,
Because you're able to question things. It's like science. Like, hey, here's a premise. Now we have to go test the hypothesis.
right,
With a test.
right.
So people, by asking questions, that's how we solve
Problems, yeah.
these giant issues. So, okay, you're a Star Wars fan, clearly.
Yep.
We loved Star Wars growing up. Have you kept up with Star Wars news recently?
I haven't yet. Disney has come up with so many series that I have fallen back on keeping up with the newest ones.
Well, sure, there's so much. And by the way, it's all hot garbage in my opinion. But
I think there's some good ones, but I haven't seen some of the recent ones.
I've enjoyed some things. But recently, South Park did an episode called, I think, Enter the Panderverse. Okay?
Okay.
Where they literally just made fun of Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy specifically for wrecking intellectual property that Disney has purchased
Oh, really?
by pandering to populist opinion. Okay? So that means like, clearly Star Wars was for boys when we were kids.
Yep.
But now they're trying to ramrod it into being Star Wars for girls.
Right.
Which I'm actually all about Star Wars for girls. That's
sure.
fine. I
Absolutely.
welcome in, ladies. The water's fine. You know.
Yep.
You know. But anyways, South Park has came out and just started blasting Disney
Probably a great
for wrecking Star Wars, which is clearly part of this like, think exactly how we think or get out, you know. And so if South Park is finally making fun of it, then maybe the tide's turning.
I think so.
Yeah, so
That's
to me,
exciting.
it's exciting to me. I mean, I would also say that I'm, like, if you, by the definition of the words, I'm a more liberal person.
Mm-hmm.
But that liberalness means I desire freedom.
Right.
Like freedom to talk, freedom to discover, like freedom to
discuss.
be whoever I can be.
Right.
You know, the best version of myself. And so for me, the idea that you must toe a line either right or left is stupid.
Yep.
Big stupid. So.
Well, you touched on a couple cool topics that we should talk about on the next episode because
Sure.
it's 8 o'clock and I do kind of have a hard stop. But Donnie, thank you for sitting in again.
Sure.
I think this one was even better than the last one.
Yeah?
And they're all going to keep getting better. Maybe
Okay.
our dad jokes are better than the last one. I don't know. I'll have to watch it back and see and figure out a new opinion.
You'll have to bleep some of my swears.
Yeah, I can do that. But episode 6 of another podcast in the books.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to be on another one next week.
Well, as many as you want.
I think you're going to be on one. We're going to film 2 because it's going to be Thanksgiving. And we're going to keep our consistency. 1 episode every single week. Thank you for watching. If you're watching, like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.